welcome everyone to our show, Cowabunga Ranger Talk. I am Masca, and with me is the man of 1,000 names, DTV83.
That's right. 1,000 names. We can go all sorts of different ways with that one, but we're not going to. So, so
Yeah, we
today's
got a little
today's
wild.
topic is today's topic is very basic topic for us. We're doing some more Power Rangers stuff, so we're gonna get into some Mystic Force
Yeah,
today.
we're doing an overview of Mystic Force. So
Yes.
if you've seen any of our prior episodes, sometimes we'll do like episode one or one specific episode or two specific episodes. This is a little different. This is an overview. This is similar to the In Space episode we did about a year ago, where we just talk about general ideas and general themes about the show, not specifically episodic. So, just so you guys know, clear that up. Uh, so let's get started. Before I go, you go. What are your initial thoughts on Mystic Force? What's your initial idea on it?
Okay. So Mystic Force. Okay. So in Japan, there was a Sentai called Car Ranger. That was the haha funny. What is this power? What is this Sentai show?
Yeah,
Mystic Force is our Car Ranger. Basically, it's a good show, but it has really nothing to do with Power Rangers besides the name Power Rangers, and it, it's um it's still good, but it's more Harry Potter like. It's more in that way, if that makes any sense. You got on one side of the forest, you got all the creatures that live in the forest. Outside of the forest, you got all the humans. They don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really a Power Rangers show per se, even though it's named Power Rangers. It's more like it could have been called Wizard something and still would have been sold as a good show.
yeah.
But to me, it's missing a lot for being a Power Rangers show.
Did you like it when you initially saw it, or did you like end up seeing it recently, or how did you consume the show?
When I first saw it, it was 2 years ago, and I did not. Again, I'm doing this focus thing. As a Power Ranger show, I did not like it. As a show about magic, I thought it was good. There
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of stuff in between it that goes both ways. Like it's good, but it's not good. But overall, to me, it's not Power Rangers. It's a magic wizard show.
Yeah. Well, you going to what you were saying with the Sentai thing. This is based on Magi Ranger,
Mhm.
and Magi Ranger, it was kind of a similar premise, but they had like a talking plant. You remember this? Seeing like it was a
I
talking
have
plant,
I have not
and they're
seen
all like
that one.
brothers, or they're all like step brothers or something. But they all
No, I
live
haven't.
together.
I haven't seen the Sentai version of this.
I've seen some of it. I'm not like big,
Okay.
but getting into my thoughts on my initial thoughts or my general thoughts on it. I love it. I thought it was awesome. The colors were bright. It did everything Power Rangers is supposed to do. I took it as a lot of fun. And before anything, this is one thing I love about the show. One of the big things I love about the show. Almost everybody morphs. Almost everybody has
Yes.
multiple forms, has multiple stages. Like really, like there's a Power like you're saying about the you like it as a magic show, not so much as a Power Ranger show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are not the Power Rangers that have multiple forms in this show, right?
That's
The
very true. Yes.
the Snow Prince, he can turn himself into snow, so he has the transformation. The Mystic Mother, she can turn herself into magic dust. I think she like reassembles herself before. Uh, Liambo, the Camdor, Udana, if you want to call her a ranger or not, Claire, like all of these people have multiple forms, which I love. I love all the mysticism. I just like honestly, I loved everything around it. Is it an exact Power Rangers show? You're right. The Power
Yeah.
Rangers take a seat back, but I liked it because the Power Rangers take a seat back. This was I saw this as like fresh eyes with like the Power Rangers formula was getting boring, so they decided to lean into the other side. Like oh here's 5 Rangers, here are 5 Zords, yada yada, beat up the bad guys, call it a day. They
Yeah.
decided to go in a different way here, which is something I really like. They decided to focus more on the one character, the Nick. and like the most of the show is like starring adult characters because the show is about Udana
Mm-hmm.
and Liembo trapping the original master and raising the daughter of the sister of Udana.
Yeah.
And then they find out about Nick and whatever they spiel over into Briarwood, and but it's mostly that. Even the heavily bad guys, because the bad guy is like he killed an original team of Rangers, which is funny because they go back and forth on this. Because you remember, like at least the beginning of it, they was talking about there were five warriors that trapped
Mm-hmm.
the master originally, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's where things kind of get murky because if Udana's one of the Rangers, why is she in white and five people died? Or if Liembo is the final, because technically Liembo, the Korag, Red Wolf, whatever that guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
isn't he supposed to be the Red Ranger? Unless there were more than just those. Because Claire, her mom is the gatekeeper. That's something else.
Yes, that's the gatekeeper. Yeah.
Yeah, but so there's six Rangers then, because Udana has her powers. So
Well, again,
that gets murky.
yeah, it's not very clear, but Udana, the White Ranger, our sixth Ranger, theoretically, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But there's other Rangers in the show too. I mean, you got more than just six. Like you
Oh
said,
yeah.
there's a lot
You
more
have
people
right.
morph, and but again, there could have been. Let's take this out of Power Ranger context for a second.
Yeah.
5 original Rangers died. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
But because it's magic, how many wands did they have originally during this battle? Was it only original 5 wands, or did they have these extra wands that had these other colors? Let's say they had a purple, a
Yeah.
blue, pink, hot pink, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they might have had 10 Rangers at one point, and only 5 of them died. And those 5 wands are the ones that are used now for these Rangers.
Okay. Well, here's what I mean about everybody has multiple forms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you already have Udana and Liambo, right?
Yeah.
There's another one, Camdor, the guy that turns into the mummy that betrays them.
Mm-hmm.
He has an alternate form because he has a mystic master form before he like betrays everybody and turns Daggeron into a frog and all this other stuff. He can morph technically. He's got an alternate form. I forgot what it's called. Their master mode or something. You know what I'm talking about. The one where
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
their mystical form. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that form. He has that, and then he betrays everybody and turns it. But he's got like 3 forms because he's got a human, his mystic, and his mummy form. So he's got 3 freaking forms.
Yes.
You know, here's another thing where they kind of play fast and loose. Where I can see people being hot about it, and at the beginning I was a little hot about it. Is like some of them can actually grow giant size, and some of them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, what I mean is like the first 2 episodes, Udana turns into like 60 feet tall, right? And then she fights Korak, who's also 60 feet tall. And then all of a sudden, Korak calls his horse. He shrinks back down to size, and he jumps back into what? Or he doesn't even need her because I don't think he even called the horse when he took away Udana's wand in the first time they fought. Because that gets repetitive and boring. As much as I love the show, that was terrible. They kept.
Well, how many times can she get kidnapped? I mean, seriously, that too. She gets kidnapped over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, she loses that wand like people lose keys, bro.
Right.
Whoops, I dropped it again.
Yeah. No, and this show actually does have an interesting timeline split in it too, because Piggy's in this show, talking about the future with the genie. You remember the genie from the show?
Yeah,
I guess I think they're the same actor, but yeah, in the show as well. I mean, that one episode with Piggy in it, talking about how
he wants
in
to
the
win
future,
the
they're like in the future, we're gonna have all the aliens come down and be with us. And if you didn't see SPD, you would have no idea what the heck he's talking about. To this genie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like one of the very first aliens ever landed on the planet Earth. So, yeah,
they could have done more crossover because the guy that does Phineas, I think that's Kelson Henderson, and he was Boom in SPD. So you could have used Boom there for something.
Well, that's the funny thing is they really didn't have they didn't even have a crossover in this. It's just that one little short
Yeah,
piggy
yeah.
scene, and that was
The
it. I
boss
mean,
fight scene.
and again, they could have did something really cool like that. Like they could have had SPD come in or Time Force come in or something, and be like, "Hey, we're from the future," or even if they had SPD somehow come back in past time and be like, "Piggy, what are you doing here?" You know, it would have been cool. That would have just kind of threw everything for a loop, but it would have been cool for like one or two episodes. Like
Yeah,
they usually do.
yeah. You know, because this season is kind of debated by fans and stuff. But when you start doing a little research, you figure out why things are the way they are. Like one of the things people hate about this show was like it was heavily based on the Red Ranger, right? It's
Definitely,
Nick
yes,
story.
yeah,
I started looking at some Ranger wikis and some Reddit posts and other things, and the reason why that is because Magi Ranger was they just had the footage, just that
okay,
simple. It has nothing to do with we want to degrade the other Rangers. No, you just have footage, a lot of Red Ranger footage, so you have to use it.
yeah,
This this season for what it was very budget conscious in a lot of ways. I mean,
yeah.
it was a short season. It was only 32 episodes.
Yeah, they didn't have the
They
full
cut off eight.
42. Yeah.
32
So let me
episodes.
ask you a question then. What do you think of the Red Rangers uh attitude, I guess, or non-attitude situation?
I think it was fine because like he's supposed to kind of be awkward. He's supposed to be kind of like because he's a loner. Like
Yeah.
they even say it at the beginning. See, well, the thing is, when you watch the show as a kid and then when you watch it as an adult, you see from different perspectives. When I
Oh,
was,
always.
I enjoyed it as that's what it was. But then when you think about it, okay, this kid's growing up. He's like 20 something. He's been bouncing around his sister, his other sister, his adopted parents, his grandma, whatever. He's just literally a traveler. That's part of why he doesn't want to even stay in Briarwood. So it kind of makes him. It makes sense that he would be alone, and it makes sense for the Sentai because if you have so much footage of the Red Ranger fighting by himself, different monsters, it's just because Nick does that. So if you
Yeah.
want, it makes sense that way. It's completely different than what do you call it? The one people. Oh my god! And this guy, he's not even a bad actor, but the Super Mega Force, the Red Ranger there.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
the one that people say that he has no personality. He has. Yeah, yeah. There, they didn't give no explanations. He just is what he is.
Yeah.
Here, there's actually an explanation for why he is kind of weird and not even weird, but like loner, very to himself, very one man is an island type thing.
Well, he
So
has okay, well I guess the question might have been badly asked. I'm talking about his mental health in the show. Like when he's like losing, he's ready to give up. Like most leaders would be like, "We can do this. We can, we can come back together and do this." He wants to just run away. Oh yeah, we lost. We have no hope anymore.
yeah, well,
To me, I understand that. I understood he was a loner. He's used to doing everything by himself. Blah blah. Blah.
yeah,
But that usually means in my own thought pattern, living alone for the longest time and doing everything myself and
mhm,
don't care about what anybody else thinks. Usually, if something bad would happen, I would pick myself up and like, let's go again.
yeah.
So, as I guess as a teenager, I guess maybe it's a little bit different, but I don't think he's really a teenager if he's riding a motorcycle
No, he's
and
like
all that,
22 or something in the show.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that was a bad representation of this.
Yeah,
I think he should have had a better way of looking at it. Oh, we
yeah,
lost. We can do this better. Let's regroup or something.
yeah.
Not just, oh well, we lost. We have no hope. Blah blah blah. Let's go away. I thought that was kind of like, why?
I get it. Like
Why?
it should be stronger than that.
Yeah, it's like the Red Ranger's supposed to be this guy that's, in everybody's mind, supposed to be like this tough guy, that knows what he's doing, or even if he doesn't know what he's doing, he's pretending to know what he's doing,
Yeah,
making everybody pumped up. Usually you have, usually you have Run Ranger in every show that's kind of a scaredy cat,
yeah,
even from the beginning where Billy was kind of the scaredy cat in Power Rangers, but he's usually not the leader. The leader's usually not that one. They might have an episode or something where something magically weird happens to him, and then they become awkward or something, but usually it's not through the whole show. You know.
Okay, so I'll address that point. You're right, totally right. And this isn't a good or a bad, but this is just like me talking to you as a series creator. Okay, looking at it from a series creator's eyes, this should have been 2 seasons. This should not have been one season, 32 episodes. You're doing way too many storylines and way too many things, and you're like burning through things. You're not pacing it. So you don't give a chance for the characters to evolve. You don't get a chance for these characters to grow because you don't have to have a status quo. It's not like The Simpsons, like at the end of the episode, Bart is fine, Homer is fine, and then we just do it again. No, you have 32 episodes. Whatever you're doing, you have to do it to 32 episodes. And by the end of the 32 episodes, we're done because next year you hire a new set of Rangers, you hire a new cast, you scorch earth, basically. You burn everything down and start over. So I think here it's very obvious. This should have been 2 seasons and 2 actual seasons. If this show was 60 episodes, you get 30 and 30, perfect. Because then you can pace things. And a perfect example, not just in him, because you're right, but this happens a lot. Like I thought one of the worst possible things that not worst, but like one of the most like rushed job was when Liambo, when he becomes the Red Wolf Ranger or Red Wolf, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you break neck, and then Nick has he has like the voices of Korag in his head are making him turn into Korag, right?
Yeah.
The Master's control. What?
Yeah.
Bro, you knocked that out all in the same episode. You were you at least needed 2 episodes, bro. You ran through one costume like this.
Yeah, you had the battle between them both, and they're in the same costume. One's red and one's purple. And it's like, come on, really?
Yeah.
You know, and they could have played that so much different. You know,
those are
a
cool
lot.
costumes, but you're rushing through everything. You're like,
But
come on, let's go. We gotta get to the 10 terrors. We gotta go to this.
now, here's a funny thing to think about. You have the same 2 costumes. One's red and one's purple. Which one's more evil looking?
Yeah.
I think the red one's more evil looking than the purple one.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? In doing my notes for this, I actually found out something I've never known. Okay. And I don't think anybody knows this. The Master, he has an actual name.
Really?
Yeah. His name is Optimus.
I think they mentioned that at one point or another.
They never said this guy's name.
They don't? I thought they did at one point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found this out through Ranger Wiki, so shout out to them because somebody had to do the work to actually find out what this guy's name. This is the lead bad guy. All through the show, they're like, "Oh, the Master's gonna be angry. We have to feed the Master, the Master, the Master." So the character's name is Optimus, the Master. And I don't even know if that's officially the name because it might just be like they're just like laughing at it because he's got sort of a red octopus as a head. Oh, well, get it? Octopus, Optimus.
Yeah. Well, it might have been the official name for maybe the Sentai version, translated into English or something. I don't know. And you'll probably never know. Just because it's on a wiki page, we all know Ricky isn't always 100% correct.
Yeah.
So,
no, but
it's
the first time I've even seen a name for the guy. So that,
Yeah.
Another thing here with the show. This was a Bruce Kalish season. I like Bruce Kalish. He's not everybody's cup of tea, but I personally like. Did you like him as far as like theme and the way he organized the show?
Ooh, that's gonna get in deep for me.
No, go ahead.
The theme song isn't. He doesn't. Even he says he doesn't like the theme song. He had a heavy metal version of the theme song that they denied.
But that was a studio influence. That's not. You can't.
Well, actually, it was the company influence. Say we can't do that. We need to go a different direction for this because this music generation's different. And he didn't like that, but he did it anyways. I heard both versions actually before doing this podcast, and the rock one's actually really decent. It makes more sense compared to this opening that they do. Anyways, what's your opinion? Because other than that, the show's the show.
It's very Kalish with the back explosions and the camera are very him.
That too. The sound effects,
Yeah, I thought I know what you're talking about because what do you call it? History of Power Rangers. The Linkara guy, he played it on one of his like remastered videos of the show. So I've heard the theme, and it sounds way too much like SPD to me.
Oh yeah.
It is like such a
But again,
SPD Mystic Force. Like you're really, and he
yeah,
even said
but
it wasn't his best work. So
see, here's the funny thing. I can remember SPD, the song in my
SPD,
head, but I cannot remember the Mystic Force one.
yeah,
So again, there's that catchiness, and we talked about this with theme song. If it catches your ear, you could be in a whole different room, and all of a sudden you go, "Oh, I know what that is. This is Simpsons. Oh, it's the Ninja Turtles. Oh, it's Full House. It's you know." But if it's a song that you can hear once ago,
because it's a
okay,
pseudo rap. This one is a
yeah, it's like you don't your ear doesn't catch it. All of a sudden you might hear the word again, power or Rangers in it and something to be like, oh, the Power Ranger show's on.
And when you first hear it, it
You
is
know?
odd because all
Yeah.
right now it's time to let it go. I get it. Like it's odd when you first hear it, but it
Yeah.
kind of grows on me. I didn't hate it. I wasn't like, oh, I'm done with this show just because the theme song.
Oh well, a theme song ain't gonna kill a show for me.
No, but you're
But
right.
it might
It
be one
wasn't
of
a
those things
knockout
where it
song.
gets on Netflix. I go skip.
It wasn't like Go Green Ranger. Like, well,
Oh God,
it wasn't that. It wasn't like, oh my god.
it's not
But
the
it's all
remix
right.
of the Power Rangers. I got you.
All right. Let's get to the next section. What did you think of the Rangers themselves? The
uh,
Nick, Vita, Chip, Udana, Xander, Madison, and Daggeron. Technically Leombo because he's a
hmm.
red mystic.
Well,
He got the
I
morphers, so he morphs.
I do like how they got their own personalities and
Yeah.
everything, even though you could look at the personalities as they were trying to give them personalities to try to get people that are watching the show the idea that, oh, that's kind of like me, oh, that's kind of like me, that's kind of like me, one's a DJ playing music, the other one's kind of a laid back, relaxed, lazy person that wants to get ahead in life but doesn't really want to do anything. I mean, you can see yourself as one of those people. I think that's really cool, and then you got the other side of them, that's the Power Ranger that's going at it, but as the actual human form, again, you got people actually being people. Yeah, they all work in a music store. So they all love music in some way or another, but you get to see the real personalities, not just this, I'm a teenager with attitude and I do karate. No, no, you're getting to see an actual personality with them. And I think that's
Yeah.
awesome. Even in Dino Thunder, you just got students and a teacher, and that's what it is. I mean, there's no real personality there. Turbo, again, you just got kids, well, teenagers being Power Rangers that know martial arts, or you got Justin, that's a kid being happy that he's a Power Ranger. That's my point of view, is that you actually got personality in this show. You actually get to see personality. I think that's really awesome.
Who was your favorite of the core Rangers?
Oh, I can't remember them all by name. It's been a while, but I would have to say the DJ, the girl
The
DJ.
That's Vita.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
As the human form, that one, because that's more, again, I could see myself in that. I can't see myself laying back and relaxing and going, hey, no, I can't do that, but again, there's that whole point of view again I had. You can see yourself as one of these Rangers in some way or another as a human form.
yeah. I I thought they were good. It's just like we were saying initially, the Power Rangers are taking a seat back to the core characters, that is Udana and
Mm-hmm.
Claire and Liam Bow and stuff. And it's funny because like technically, if you want to be that guy, you could kind of say that Claire is a ranger too because she does morph. She does use like a staff or whatever, but she does have another form. She has the gatekeeper form, where
Yeah,
she's like
she uses
starts
she
holding
uses her
down the gate.
mom's her
Yeah, her
mom's
mom's
relics.
mystic powers.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that too is because Udana doesn't actually have a morph. She has her staff. You don't have the
Mm-hmm.
flip phone that the regular five rangers have. So I like them all, bro. Coming up, I remember I was like, wow, Claire's cute, and like these kids, whatever the things you think of. I mean, I
Oh
still,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I liked everything, and these characters, it would have been fun to spend more time with them. Like I said, if this would have been a longer show, you could have had more scenes with them and stuff like that. Because I thought the actress that did Claire was good. I thought, really, if you pace out some of these things, it come off really cool. Like another problem with pacing. You remember towards the end, one of the 10 terrors decides to become good and like repents.
Mm-hmm.
He has sort of a mushroom on his head, and then he
Yeah.
ends up at the end of the episode, at the end of the series, like he's like playing DJ next to Vita or whatever.
Yeah.
Why did he turn good? Oh, I'm tired of the masters, the stupid games with the tablet and the thing, and like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but you can explore that. You can. Oh, my parents were killed. Oh no, I've been serving for the master for this long, and you show that, you film it. Like I said, this could have been. If this would have been 60 episodes, it would have been way better than 32. You're
Well,
like
they
cramming, you're running light speed through the show, you know?
yeah, because
Because
they're not
everything,
rescuing.
everything. It's you can't even watch an episode standalone.
No, you can't. Here's the thing: they could have done 30 episodes, nice and
Very
slowly,
give you that.
as a build up,
Yeah,
and then even have a movie or something. Here's the storyline. This is what's going on. We're not gonna rush anything, but at the movie side, we're gonna show you the ending. Here's Donna. Here's the Lord. You're gonna fight the big end dude, and then to find out later on that you got the main Red Ranger is the son of blah blah, and all that in the movie instead of having all that storyline right there, and that gets okay. So again, it's the Red Ranger story, not really,
yeah,
and that's what it is. Red Ranger meets his lost parents, his mom and dad, and then rides off on the sunset at the very last episode. You
yeah,
know, um, again, I have no problem with that either. I think that's kind of neat that an adopted kid is a Power Ranger from a sorceress and a sorcerer.
yeah,
It's not bad idea, but again, they could have done it in such a different way. And then when you're talking about the phones, well, originally they're wands, and they're like, well, we need to make sure no one can tell that they're wands, so she turns them into these flip phone morphers, and I thought that was pretty cool. It makes sense. It made sense. Why would you want to go? I got a magic wand, and what is that for? Oh, I can't tell you. You got a cell phone. Oh, that's cool cell phone. Yeah, I know. They just got it today. It's a brand new one. Just out on the market.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another example of like rush through storytelling is Phineas. He ends up working at the music store, the rock
Hmm.
quarry, right? And
Yeah.
like two people tell him that he's ugly or something, or he scares off two people.
Hmm.
And then at the end of the show, what happens? The entire city comes out and holds hands and like, we all believe in magic. And then they repower the Power Rangers. The entire city did not say that they didn't believe in you, bro.
Yeah.
It was two people that said Phineas was ugly. It doesn't mean you actually had an entire city of prejudice. So it's like you're so, you know what I mean? Oh, I got the whole town behind me, and we're all gonna put help for the pirates. There wasn't anything of that, like, because it also brings up the prejudice thing of, oh, the people in the woods compared to the people in the city, right? Like, oh, the
Yeah.
elves and the goblins and the trolls and whatever.
Well, see, there you go again. I mean, like you were talking about
You're
the ending.
rushing, you're rushing.
Yeah. The ending, the Power Rangers lose their powers, and the forest people come out to help them, and the people from the city come out and help them. They all, come together, and it's again, it's the happy ending of a magical story. You got the beginning, that you got the some person that's not believing in magic and all this, and the forest people hate the city people hate the forest people. And at the end, they all come together and live happily ever after.
Yeah, yeah,
It
but
is a fairy tale story, basically.
yes, because
And that's
you're playing with magic. That's the
Mhm.
theme anyway, so you kind
Yeah.
of make everybody kumbaya. Oh, we're all gonna be the happily ever after thing. So I get it. Moving on a little bit, let's talk about the supporting cast, the Snow Prince, the Tribunal of Magic. Those three things
Yes.
that look like chess pieces. Mystic Mother, Toby,
Oh, Mystic Mother. Those are
Phineas,
one
and
we should
Lily.
talk
Yeah,
about.
the supporting cast. What did you think of the
Yeah.
supporting? Anybody stand out to you? Anybody?
Well, of course, the Mystic Mother's kind of a funny story because that's a cameo of a cameo.
Yeah,
Um, so of course, the Z Wave makes Rita good, and so the Mystic Mother is actually supposed to be Rita. as a good person.
Yeah.
Now that didn't really happen in our Power Ranger timeline, but in the Mystic Force and the Sentai, she's becomes good again.
Yeah.
And if you never seen Drew Ranger, you would never even know that form of Rita.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because the actress from that was
yeah,
Bando.
yeah, that was actually Bandora before she became Bandora. So, anyways, it's very interesting to see her, but they didn't even get the same voice actor to do the voiceover.
Yeah, they could have gotten Barbara Goodson to
Yeah, and
do
they
audio.
didn't, and she would have done it in a heartbeat. I mean, come on, she
Oh,
would
yeah.
have done it in a heartbeat.
He came
It's
back
only
from
a few.
always. So.
It's only a few different lines too. I mean, it's only a few lines. That was all it was. But
That's
again,
yeah, perfect. Another perfect example of storytelling.
mm-hmm.
You don't think there's more episodes with Rita becoming good, but they just like gloss over that. Like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah, she became the Mystic Mother. How? How did she
mm-hmm.
like age, or what happened to Zed as a human? What? How did she get?
I mean, there you
Who
go.
gave
There's
her
a
pack powers? Those are things you could have added on to make a 60 episode show instead
yeah.
of 32. But there's no time. There's no time.
No,
You know.
no, and of course, it gives it away as, oh, I got a headache, and you're like, oh, so that's supposed to be Rita.
Yeah.
I mean, eh, I
She
mean,
doesn't
heck,
even say it. Udana says like, "Oh, in the old times, she was known as Rita." That's literally the line. Udana just
yeah,
says it as to say it, really. But
and of course she's supposed to die,
that's
and all of a
very,
sudden she wasn't dead at all. I love that. Oh, Mystic Mother died, and then all of a sudden you find out, oh, she didn't die. And you're like, okay, that's okay.
yeah, because
But
she
no,
turns into energy, right? Doesn't
yeah,
she?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, I thought that was cool to see. I thought that was awesome.
That could have been
Uh,
something to see how Rita becomes good.
yeah, that would have been awesome. And
Give
then
me
the
the
try,
damn episodes. That's
yeah,
interesting plot development. That's interesting storytelling. But they just didn't because there's no time.
and
Uh,
even the trifactal, those pawns pieces, whatever you want to call them.
yeah, yeah. Because okay, this is the rook. This is the the bishop. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we look at Power Ranger timeline here and understand Power Rangers myths and legends, wouldn't they be kind of like the master the I'm
Masters of
getting tired.
Magic, basically.
Well, masters of magic, but the Morphin Masters at the time. They'll be their Morphin Masters at the time because they can give them powers.
See,
I mean, there you go
that's more
again.
story that they didn't explore. There was no,
No,
there was
because they
no.
could have been like the original Morphin Masters of whatever, but they didn't explore that. But that's exactly what they were. We can give you these extra powers to put on top of your power. We give you a shield to make you look cooler. But I mean, you got another storyline right there. There's so many storylines in the storyline that's too much, like you've been talking. And yeah,
Yeah, you make a really good point there. Like, what's the relationship between the Tribunal and the Mystic Mother? Did they
yeah,
train her? Did they train Rita into becoming a good magician or whatever?
yeah.
Because she's the Mystic Mother, so she becomes like the queen, or she gets promoted to Mystic Mother because I guess she would have to be Mystic Daughter and Mystic Apprentice, and like she has to climb up the ranks. Like you're a cop, you're a lieutenant, you're a police chief. You have to climb up the ranks. You don't show any of that. You don't talk about any of that. There has to be
I
some
mean,
correlation with all these people, right?
oh man, what they could have done, and it would have made more sense,
Yeah.
is make her that's the mother that closes the gates. And when she lost her life, she became the Mystic Mother.
Yeah, but you can't because that's Claire's mom.
I
So
know, but
you're
that
double
would have been.
stepping on that. Yeah.
I know, but that would have been cooler than just
Oh
saying,
yeah,
"Hey, you
see,
know."
that's another misstep. This show has so much potential to have been so much. Why didn't we have a fight between an actual fight? Because we only saw like Liam Bo like as in his like mystic form push down the octopus, the master into,
Yeah.
and that's where we kind of start the show. But you could have had a long fight scene there, bro. I would have liked
Oh
to have
yeah.
seen that, but like everything is like, so let's go, let's get to the next, let's get to the next.
So people that are watching this, you have to understand that this show is just about go, 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 go. We could have just be calling it Go Go Mystic Force. It would have made more sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. But yeah, you're right. It is all about we're gonna pile everything on as much as we can to make sure you
Okay.
don't understand it.
Well, they give so much like hints at lore and stuff, but they don't explore it. Like Okay, let's get off the Rangers for a second. Let's look at the bad guys.
Okay.
Why is Korag called Korag? Just why isn't he called the Master Knight or something? Like it would make more sense because Korag is a name. It's not a title. Korag is like
Yeah.
Billy or Hector. Okay, he's Korag. Okay, but Korag the what? Or the Wolf Knight? Or but they don't explain that very well.
No, they don't.
Another thing where they kind of rush through it is what's the with the bat Necroli? I
Nikolai,
believe,
yeah.
yeah, I believe that's her name. How does she have a human daughter? That means she got together with a human guy, right? Where's the human guy? Because
You make a
she's
good
the
point.
mom of Lily, right?
I didn't even think about that, but you make a good point.
That's the mom of
I,
Lily. She
yeah.
have been on Earth doing something for a while.
Well, if she's let's just say let's say she
She's
was a
gotta be up there
vampire.
with
Let's
the
just say she was a vampire at first. Okay, so I'm just saying because if she was gonna get along with some human guy, no human guy's gonna go with that. So unless you can shift change,
now you're
uh,
reaching to okay.
but you
She's a
know what I mean. I mean,
big
if you're gonna have a
yeah.
human daughter, how are you gonna do that? No guy in the world's gonna be like, oh, that's hot. No, I don't think so.
Lily kind of like tanks the entire show if you think about it because
Mhm.
look, Lily means Necrolite was on Earth, got with some guy, got pregnant, and they had a baby, right? Here's
Yeah.
where it tanks the whole show. All of the bad guys are supposed to be locked into like the hell prison
Hmm.
until the seal breaks. Lily's 22. She's been walking around for 22 years. So they weren't all. How did Necrolite get out? How can these characters are all supposed to be trapped somewhere? How did they get like prison released or something or whatever? Like, because she walked out, right?
Yeah.
Lily's been living on Earth, and like, here's another thing that kind of disputes the fact. Lily and all of these other people know each other. So they've been around each other for at least 5 years. It's not like Lily grew up on the in the Satan pit or whatever it's called. The pit where all the
Yeah. Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
guys are.
Yeah.
They've been to school together. They know each other. They've seen each other for years, at least 4 or 5 years. Though. Necrolite really like tanks the idea that there was a seal keeping all of the bad guys there and the gatekeeper and all this stuff. So so who the hell actually broke through the seal? Because people are getting in and getting out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you start picking at it, So it's start thinking.
Yeah, there's so many loose ends. So many loose ends. If you're gonna go down a rabbit hole like that,
No, but that's the
I
primary character. That's
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
that's the secondary bad guy because the two main bad guys, the consistent bad guys are Korag and her. Because the other guy, Mordecon, the guy with the big engine on his head and the blue head
Hmm.
face, he's around for like 10 episodes and then they kill him off. I need to get out. I need to get out. As soon as he gets out, the Titan Megazord comes in and slashes him and he's done.
Yeah. I think this like I said, I don't think this show should have been.
Really destroys the show, bro. If you
Yeah.
think about it.
This show has so much potential. Again, it's another Power Ranger show that had a lot of potential, but they just messed it up. And I don't understand how they can do that. I mean, they got so much storytelling, and was this pre Disney or is this Disney? I
This
can never
is
remember.
the Disney era. This is
Yeah.
100.
So you're doing Disney Power Rangers. How many TV shows has Disney done? How many TV shows has Disney done alone with Magic, even around this time? And how good are the story writers for Disney? Excellent. So why can't they make the storyline work in a better format? Because Disney has awesome storytellers.
Yeah.
And I don't care what show it is. I mean, even if it's okay, this sounds really bad. Waverly Place, the storyline there made sense.
Hmm.
Um, they had other Wizard shows too for a while. They even had a few movies come out. Hocus Pocus, there's another one of Disney's. Um, I know there's been more, and I can't think of them, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, they know how to do this whole magic bit. They know how to make a story from, or here's a lost kid meeting their mother for their first time, or the prince and the they have so much storytelling just in magic, mystery, everything. I don't know how they can go. Oh, okay, it's a Power Ranger show. We're just gonna toss this all in and hope to God it makes sense. Because they could have done better. It's Disney. They could have done better.
Yeah. You know, another thing that kind of makes you like scratch your head is why didn't Udana look for her kid for 22 years? Like, you think about, oh yeah, I did have a kid back in the ancient times. Nick would have to be more than 22 years old. If he's,
Yeah, here we go again with that.
see what I mean? Nick's got, because this was Mystic Times and the Mystic Seal and whatever, it ends up being a whole thing if you pick at it. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
we
it is
better
fun
not do that.
show, but it's got its thing.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking too was kind of interesting, but it wasn't very explored. Was like the Snow Prince. So who's the Snow King?
Oh.
Or does he? No. If they open the door, we're not even talking episode. We're just like going.
Yeah.
Overview.
Yeah.
So he's the Snow Prince to who? To the Mystic Mother or to the Tribunal? Or like who specifically does he answer to? Who's his dad? Who's his mom? Who, or why does he get his...
Again, remember that big book in the show? It's probably all in there. All the answers are probably in that book, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't know. I get the point of view. I understand that if there's a prince, there should be a king. If there's a princess, there should be a queen. And
yeah,
wouldn't the prince be the Red Ranger? I'm just saying. So he had a brother. So now we gotta. I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
So
You just opened another door.
See, now we're gonna do this.
No. You just opened another door with Nick. Okay, you know what you just did, right? Why doesn't he have a mystic mode? Why doesn't he have a legendary mode? If he is the son of two magical beings, he should have a magical form.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the mystic powers, he should have like a form that he looks like one of the bad guys from one of those early '80s movies. That's right.
Yeah.
Where the hell's Nick's mystic mode? He is not even like a half breed. He's not like, oh, my dad was, because you could kind of say the crossbreed or whatever, a combination with Lily, because Lily, your mom's a vampire queen, your dad can be just some dude. Fine, you're a half breed, but Nick is 100%. Mom and dad are both magical beings. You should inherit some of their magical powers. Something,
yes.
You should have an alternate mode besides just being Nick. But maybe they ran out of budget too. Maybe, hey, look, we don't have the footage. We can't make another costume. Because this thing is what it is. But you think about it, why doesn't he have it? Daggeron has a second mode. Liambo has a second mode. Well, Udana, if she was more like in the mysticism, I guess she could turn into snow or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe that's part of her powers. But another thing that kind of bothered me during the show. I don't know if it bothered you, but how come Udana didn't have a Zord?
See, that doesn't really bother me too much.
Or why did she have a Mystic Titan form, right? Because she
that
would
one,
be the only Ranger with powers left. Because
yeah.
If you either killed 3 or 4 of the original Rangers, she still has, she should have had a Zord, because Korra's walking around with a black horse Zord, and you can use it or not use it, but he'll still turn into 60 feet. Like, why doesn't he have a Zord? I thought that was a weak point.
Well, here's another weak point: is the very first few episodes where they're getting the powers, and the main character, the Red Ranger, goes, "Oh, I don't believe in magic." It's like, you just saw a woman morph in front of you, and you don't believe that. Okay.
He just got sucked into a teleportation system through a tree, but you still don't believe.
Right. Yeah, you got hit up into space. You got hit up into an island or whatever, into a tree. Yeah, I mean, but magic is way out here for you still. I'm sorry. Even if I didn't believe in magic, I just saw someone turn into this superhero and then hit me with the wand and send me off to this magical place. I mean, they'll be like, okay, so teach it to me, because I'm really curious. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I don't believe in it.
I think that was a misstep, because in the same scene, he like sees a purple circle on the floor, and then Korak pops out with the henchman of the season. Like,
Right?
there gotta be some sort of magic, right? Like,
Yeah,
where the hell
yeah.
are these dudes coming from?
Right?
But yeah,
Yeah, that
she,
bothered me. That bothered me, actually.
yeah. You know what's funny about this season too? There was no split. Like, there could be a lot of this misinterpretation with like RPM, because RPM, like one creator, one director was doing one half, and then he got fired for spending too much money or whatever reasons he got
Hmm.
fired. He still got fired and let go. They moved him out and they brought in another guy with another set of ideas and another set of team from the corporate, from Disney's fine. So you can kind of, okay, this was this way and this was this way, trying to just, but no, this was just Bruce being Bruce. This is Bruce.
Yeah.
This is all Bruce's. He was the head guy there, so it all falls on him. It doesn't fall on Jonathan Zacher or anybody else that was running the show. Because
Yeah,
they
but again,
him clean.
like we were talking about, again, it could have been time crunch, could have been money, it could have been we need a story, we need the whole story now, and you got 3 days to write it. That's a way, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be
Yeah,
another ET video game situation. It could have been, okay, well, we got these ideas. How could we do this in 32 episodes?
yeah,
I know it's not the best thing, but what do you think, Disney? Oh, this works out. Okay, awesome. Let's use it. I mean, there's all sorts of factors in. We can go by script writing, uh, actors themselves, so they could pull off the stuff that they want them to do. How much stuff could we add to this footage that we don't actually have to make it work? What kind of production do we have for budgeting? How much is the set going to cost? I mean, unfortunately, the reality is, yeah, it could have been a better show. Budget, writing, timing. What do we have? What can we use? How much film do we have from Japan?
yeah. Like you. Okay, one of the things from an editor perspective that was kind of like, you could tell it was like they only did one take of it or maybe two takes, and yeah,
Mhm.
put it in the can. Was though that collection of episodes Dark Wish? Because remember, Dark Wish was supposed to be like a TV movie, and it was like even released as a DVD blockbuster
Yeah,
event, TV movie event, whatever. You fit, bro. That's where the Ninja Tribunal are, and that's where they kind of muscle in the Mystic Mother and stuff. Oh, the sky is gray. We turn everything, grayscale to
yeah,
make it seem like everything's dark and whatever. You could have paced that better. Uh, I think it would have been cooler to do a Power Ranger. That was in another episode we talked about like times where you could have done a third Power Ranger movie. I could have,
hmm,
if you were gonna do it, but do it for real. Put it in the cinema. Get the toys out. Get the whole
yeah,
machine. I just half-ass release it as a DVD and then later release it as cut up episodes as part of the regular show. Then you didn't do anything.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I overall, if I was gonna rate the show in a Power Ranger timeline,
Yeah,
I'd probably give this a 5. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
middle of the road for
It
you.
was kind of middle of the road. Now, if this was its own show,
Yeah,
I would have to go two ways with it. I'd give it probably a 7 for the idea and 2 for the execution because it was horribly executed. You know,
yeah, yeah. There's like so many things you can pick at because okay, looking at the end for a second, Necroli, she turns back into a human. So who cursed her into being a vampire? More story,
yeah,
more avenues you could have grown with. And then Vita says that, "Oh, your mom's hot," and she puts that that face. Buddy.
yeah.
Oh man, let's move on a little bit with the villains. Artemis, the Master, Mordecai, Imperius, who's Kalendor. I thought that was interesting too. That one of our own betrayed us,
Hmm.
you know, and basically sold out to the bad guys and stuff. Korag and the Ten Terrors. What did you think of the bad guys?
They had a good
Was there
amount of
anything that stand
storyline.
out, or were you like, these guys are garbage, or what?
None of them are garbage, but standing out, not really either. I don't
Yeah,
think I don't think they really give them enough time. They really have focus on only certain characters in the show, but they bring so many characters in. all at the same time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
again, the bad, yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, it's like, oh, we got this guy in. Now we're gonna focus on that guy for 2 seconds, but now we got this one coming in, this one coming in, this one coming in. Oh yeah, we forgot about that guy. And it's overall the bad guys are
Yeah.
decent. I mean, they're again, everything's rushed. Everything's too rushed. You don't have a backstory on most of them,
Yeah.
and the ones you do have a backstory on, they don't really go into it too deep.
See, okay. Me, I thought everybody was like, as far as pacing wise, I think they were all like hitting their beats and stuff. What I would say is kind of odd is that you don't explain why Optimus, the master, wants to take over the world. He's just the master of the Mordecons or whatever they're called, the bad guys.
Yeah,
He's just the master and he wants to take over the world, but why? Just
there's no
because?
backstory. Just
No
because.
backstory. But
Yeah,
but you have all of the bad guys listening to this guy, this octopus headed dude. You're like, okay, why? But okay, so there's a weak point. And I think another weak point that could have been like something really cool, but it kind of fell flat was the 10 Terrors.
10 Terrors.
Yeah, because like the 10 Terrors idea is like there's a super pit or there's like a super dungeon or there's like a
Yeah,
super right, like because they're in hell and then there's like a lower hell. That's what it is. You
yeah,
see
I
this.
know, I know. It
It's
is.
a
I'm
it's a
sorry.
lawyer or it's like a super jail if you don't want to use that whole perspective.
Well, hell's fine. I don't care. I just think it's
Okay,
funny.
like there's a mega jail. There's a
Okay,
mega
okay.
jail where there's like really bad dudes, and then they're all stupid because they all follow this book of we have to go one at a time instead of all 10 of us going out there and taking over the
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
You know, I mean, I think even if I remember correctly, even their introduction, they could jump out of the super jail because all 10 of them come out of the pits and they're like, "Oh, Raiders, we're coming for you." So you don't even need to do the whole thing of we release one at a time. All 10 of them jumped out, and they're supposed to
yeah,
be even bigger because they're Megazord sized, right?
yeah.
Panteras are Megazord sized.
Yeah, they're yeah. That's the thing. That's the other thing. you know,
That
what?
was really badly
Yeah.
executed. The 10 Terrors. You could have.
What they
All of them
what they
look cool as shit too. I'm sorry to
see,
curse.
they could have done something really cool there. They could have done something really cool. Now, just hear me out. Hear me out. They could have done one fight after the other, and at the end, they could have all combined somehow, all combined into the Master. All their powers combined into the Master. We're not doing Captain Planet, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
There'd
I
be,
get you. Like
you
combining their
know,
powers into one.
yeah, you're destroyed, but your power is still floating in the air. And when you get all destroyed, boom, you
Yeah,
know.
there was one line where I think the first one dies, and he's like, "Oh, you might have defeated me, but there's like 9 more of me, and now you're gonna see." And I thought to myself, "Man, I gotta wait for 9 more of these dudes to
But
die."
remember the one cheated. The one did cheat. You can't cheat. If you cheat, you
Oh
die
yeah, you
automatically.
can't cheat the what is
The
it? The
book.
Book of Darkness or
Yeah.
something?
Huh?
The rules of darkness.
The
You
rules of
can't cheat the
darkness.
rules
Yeah.
of
You can't
darkness.
cheat the book. It's like you're evil. Isn't that the point of being evil? It's just doing what the hell you want to do.
But they can all jump out. They're not even locked into the super prison or the super hell. They can leave whenever they want. They're Megazord size.
Yeah, but they got to follow the book. So they got to
Why?
do what the book says. Again, I don't know. They're evil. They should be able to do whatever the hell
Okay,
they
but
want.
story wise, you could have at least gotten 3 episodes out of why all of these 10 monsters follow this special book, and they are giant sized and like you could have explained. You could have done a nice 3-parter just explaining who and what they are and what their motives are. Not just a couple of throwaway lines of here, yeah, I follow the rules of darkness. The rules of darkness listen to me and not to them. Okay, but keep going. Like
Heck, heck, they could even done a Star Wars thing with that. They could have had like an opening show what the words would come up or what you know the rules and regulations of the book, blah blah, why they can't do it, but why
yeah,
something they could have done that, and everybody would be like, oh, it's narrated even. The book of spells, the book of darkness, blah blah, blah states that if an evil layer, blah blah blah, from the pits of only one has the right to fight at a time, and if they disobey this book, they get automatically destroyed. Something that way they don't have to make cheesy lines and be like, oh, okay,
yeah.
and call the episode "The Book of spells, a book of darkness, or whatever. The final battle, or whatever.
What
Something.
did you think of the putties? Those the zombie heads with the brown outfits.
They're
That's what
okay.
they are. That's
I
what
know they're okay. I mean, those little
the
goons
giant
from it.
drugs.
I'm just gonna say those the parties for every episode, every show
Well, for
is
this
just
one,
that. They're just that. They're there because it's something extra to fight.
yeah.
When you're a kid and you first see parties, you're like, oh my god, that's interesting. That one has a sword. That one has a rock. This one has a what is that thing again? you know, this is the same thing. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're fighting putties or the people from the space show or whatever, Mystic Force, SPD. They all have them in some way or another.
Yeah.
They're
Did
just
you actually
extras.
collect the toy line when this was out, or you totally missed it?
This is again. This show is like I said before. I'll say this in every show. I stopped like halfway through space. I saw the turtle episode where the
Yeah.
turtles meet the space rangers. I think that was the last time I actually watched it.
No, but as
And
far as
then
like toy collecting and like the whole thing,
not even
you
toy collecting. That was just the last time I ever watched Power Rangers. I don't think I collected any toys past Turbo.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually I'm a French. Yeah, I got the figures. They only made like two of them. They didn't make Solaris Knight. They made a small version of Solaris Knight that came in one of the vehicles, but they didn't release a regular sized 6-inch Solaris Knight. If you wanted something comparable, you had to buy the Sentai version, the Japanese version, and you had to
Oh, the
order.
Bandai version. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bandai of Japan or whatever. Yeah,
Mhm.
you could. Bandai of America didn't release no Solaris Knight, which is what they. I think they only made Korag and as the bad guy. They didn't give. There was a canceled Mordecon figure that was like too old in design, but they just never brought it. And there was also going to be the putty. They did it in
Yeah.
blue. They did it in blue, but they just never released it. Unless they released it in the UK, because I don't know. Sometimes they'll like release a figure in the UK or something. Oh, this is a Disney Store exclusive or something. They
Yeah,
used
they
to,
could have done that.
they
Yeah.
used to do weird stuff like that sometimes too. Let's move on a little bit. The Mystic Morpher, the Solar Staff, the Fire Dragon Morpher, and the Wolf Morpher. What did you think of the Morphers?
I think they were fantastic, honestly. I mean, like I said in the beginning, the morphers were originally wands and they turned them into cell phones, morphers. And I think that was a brilliant idea on the part of the writers, because they could have made them anything. They could have made them watches. They could have made them
Yeah.
earphones, glasses again. They could have made sunglasses. We've done that before. But yeah, I think it was a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually currently watching Jungle Fury.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
god, bro, that thing about morphing with sunglasses, it seems like the most convoluted things. Like you have to pull up glasses, you have to put them on, you have to make sure you're standing at the. I
You
was
know what though? You know what? We're gonna get into
it's
that.
so
We're gonna get into that
annoying.
topic later. But I actually like that show. Jungle Fury was one of my favorite
I was
ones.
just like giving
Yeah.
since we're on the topic of morphers. So I
Hmm.
figured I was like, that seems kind of annoying. Like the just for morphers, Ninja Steel. You saw that big triangle thing that they have to spin, and it's like this freaking big. How do you walk around with something this big? Oh, this is my morpher. No, that's a
Right.
Power Ranger.
Right.
You're not hiding
Yeah.
it. The the Ninja Steel morpher was big. It was like a red star with like a yellow star on top, and then another
Hmm.
blue star in the middle, and then you're supposed to spin it, and then that's how you morph them. I like my
Yeah.
where they're small and discreet, like the original Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin
Hmm.
Morpher, you can put that thing in. It's basically the size of like a little
It's a
wallet. You can
it's a
put it.
belt buckle.
Yeah, you can put that anywhere. It's not as gigantic. Oh man, speaking of gigantic morphers, you remember Jungle Fury? They had the white one, the white ranger. He had this giant rhino like
Oh
bladed.
yeah.
That was his morpher. The dude looked like Hellboy. He had this thing morph like that. Oh man, that was something else. Well, getting back to Mystic Force here. I like them too. Um, I wish there would have been another way to see more morphing sequences. That would have been cool. Because in the toys, they released a Korak version of the Morpher. It's the same Morpher, but in purple.
Okay.
So I don't know if there was like behind the scenes plans to let Korak morph out of being just a purple armored dude into a regular dude, or whatever. But there, for whatever that's worth, if somebody in the chat wants to chime in, or you guys have anything you want to add to that, because there was a purple morph, there was a purple mystic morph.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's another funny thing as far as the Korak thing. Now that we're talking toys, there was a white version. There's a white.
Really?
Yeah, there's a white Korak. There's a white Korak with a red sign on his chest and gold around it, and the base suit is gray.
Okay.
So you have to see it. If you want, you can look it up. You can bring up. I think he's called White Mystic something. White Mystic Wolf.
Okay.
It is interesting though, like, because that was readily available. That was a regular release. Korak in white. By the way, while you're looking that up, a little fun fact. Right here is the Solar Streak Megazord. I have all of his pieces. I just have to find the other arm of it. That's why but he is here. He's complete. And I have a bootleg of this in white.
Really?
Yeah, I have a Solar Streak. He's a little smaller, but somebody made it, and as a kid, they gave it to me. I was like, oh yeah. I always liked this idea too. Like the engine like eats the bad guy and then spits it out. I thought that was very Ninja Turtles-y.
So I'm gonna pull this up, and it's on an eBay seller. So
Okay.
just give me a second, guys.
Yeah,
This is I'm just gonna have to show the post the way it is. I can't do much about it.
that's fine.
So if you guys are looking for one of these, you'll know where to find it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. White Korak.
Okay.
What did
Well, I'm
they
gonna
put? Wolf Ranger?
Mystic Force Light Knight.
Yeah.
Light Knight. He's a knight. Wolf Ranger, yes.
Yeah, that's Korak, all right.
Okay, give me one.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Give me 1 second. I'm kind of curious here. Now that I see that, 'cause I saw a picture a minute ago of something like that.
While you do that, let me remind our viewing audience and our listening audience, if you like our stuff, subscribe, share, all that other stuff. Leave a comment, respectfully, because we try to be as respectful. So, give to the world what you want to receive. That's
right.
We could all troll each other for infinity of time. That doesn't get anywhere. It's not really fun. It's contradictory to what we try to do here. We just like to have a fun show, and if you guys like it, we appreciate it. And if you don't, find something you like. There's a million things, right?
That's right.
There's a million shows and a million things.
So here's the main character. Like he has two forms here: the purple one, and then this red one.
Yeah.
Now, money. This is they were trying to base the Troy off of, and they just kind of went to the extreme.
Well, there's no white there. They just
No, but
decided to make a white version. Just
yeah.
Because, another funny thing is maybe. Okay, can you bring up the morphin sequence for this guy?
Oh.
Or you think it'll get us flagged?
It won't get us flagged, but I don't. That might take me some time to actually find.
Okay, well, leave it there because I wasn't. Maybe I'm misremembering something, but isn't his shield like his morpher technically? Doesn't he morph using the shield?
I don't remember.
I don't remember him pulling out a cell phone and turning into the Red Wolf, but I do remember that big shield that opens up and it has the for the sword and everything.
Yeah, so it's showing right here that sword through the shield. Yeah, I don't remember. I honestly do not remember.
Yeah. I don't remember them making a red version of the Morpher as his Morpher as the Red Wolf. By the way, I hate that name. I thought that was the dumbest freaking name. Like you go from Korak to the Red Wolf. Red Wolf what? Red Wolf Knight? Red Wolf
Well,
Ranger?
I guess his
Red
full
Wolf.
name is.
What the hell is the Red Wolf of what?
Well, I guess his full name is Korg the Nightworth. So interesting.
Yeah, but never in the show do they call him the Night Wolf. They just keep calling him Korak, Korak,
But
Korak.
again, there you go again. Now he's a knight. you know, who knew that? I didn't know that, but I guess he is. I guess he's the knight of the show.
Okay,
So
okay. So by that logic, then his name should be Liambo the Red Wolf Knight.
Nightworth, yeah.
Does that grammatically sound good to you? Like
Nothing sounds good here.
that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I'm such a cool costume when they call it the Red Wolf.
But again, what happened in the Japanese show that we don't get to see? I mean, did he have 3 forms, 4 forms? And, he might have had the purple form going to good, going to the red. And maybe he had even a more, like super form that he turns white, and who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe he has 2 evil forms and 1 good form that's actually white. But in our show, we were like, oh no, he's just going to be red. Forget about the right side,
Yeah. You know what would have been cool that was unexplored with Korak? Korak could have been a monster and he got the Korak armor so he can go to Earth. Like that's the armor gives him strength to go to Earth. So you could have given another excuse to because that armor is to serve under the master, right? But like
yeah.
where does the armor come from? Where does it go to? What's the reasoning behind it? Is there a monster underneath? Is he just Liambo without it? Like, it's a lot of questions you could pop up if you want to start picking at it, or because the only other one that can go out is Necrolai, and Necrolai doesn't need any because she's a vampire. Fine, you can make that excuse. But for him, you're saying that the armor is what he's serving the master. Where did the master get? Or here's another thing that would have been fun too. They could have had like failed knights. Like you could have had a female knight with the Korak armor, like a female shape. That would have been cool.
There you go.
Like a girl version of Korak, and she failed the master and she died. And then they brought in Liambo to like brainwash him or whatever, make him. Because he's gonna end up becoming the good guy. But you could have had another avenue to explore right there. Not the armor, or why didn't you make it in multiple colors? It would have been cool too if they would have explained it. Like, okay, when the 5 original Rangers, the 5 wizards, when they died, right? The master used their powers to create that way it'll like be compatible, quote unquote. Kind of like Bill wasn't compatible with the Zeo powers. Like this could be compatible because it's magic on magic. So, and it is Liambo. So you could have gone there. You could have played with that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about Korak, right? And the armor?
Yeah. Yep.
Wouldn't it have made sense if he was a monster and he beat up the other monsters and proved good enough to earn the armor of Korak, right? Like he's the baddest dude out there, so he earned the title and he earned the armor of Korak. Not just he's been in the pit for what, thousands of years? Because all of this stuff, Udana's got to be at least 100 years old, right?
Yeah.
Because if this is from mystic times and mystic things.
Well, we could even do one better if you want. How about he was human and got magically changed into a monster that made him evil.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Head Honcho decided, hey, let's give him the armor to keep him evil. So no one knows that it's him, so no one can change him back into being his human self.
Yeah.
See, that's a storyline right there. That's a storyline. But I dropped the writer.
Yeah. No, you were talking earlier about the colors and stuff. Like,
yeah.
If you look at the master, his color palette is blacks and red. Wouldn't you figure Korak would be black and red?
Something
the red
like
wolf?
Yeah.
And then his good version would have become the purple one?
You would think.
If you're getting to go that way. Purple looks better on screen. I'll give you that. Sure. But if you're going by that idea.
Well, I also see where they were going with it too. Now, here we go. Red Ranger,
Yeah.
good guy.
Hmm.
Red Korak, good guy. I get it.
Yeah.
But again, red is also a picture of evil in hell. So I see both points of view. I see
That's
both
kind of
points of
where
view.
they are, bro. That's kind of where they live.
Yeah.
That's kind of their address. All right. What did
But
you
just
think? I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what did you think of the defeat of the master by like everybody just wishing him and giving him so much energy he implodes? Do you think that was kind of stupid or like
Yeah.
makes sense?
Yes. Very stupid. I
Yeah.
think there could have been. Okay, so in my mind, as a young as a young kid, I would have seen like a big Zord battle fight
Yeah.
with everybody else on the ground doing some kind of magic spell to keep them from hitting the Rangers, and they can take the final blow with some kind of magical weapon in the Zord. That would make more sense as a Power Ranger fan. Now, as the Harry Potter type person or other type of magical things, sure, why not? Okay, we can't morph anymore, but we still have the magic inside of us. Let's play Disney. Let's do it. That would be okay. But again, this is Power Rangers. We want to see mechs. We want to see this big battle at the end. We don't want to have the we're gonna get the magic power going. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is
It
not what we
believes in us.
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want that big mech battle, and we could have the other magical people down on the ground shooting us energy waves or shooting the energy waves at the end at the bad guy, and we finally kill him with the magical blow from our staff or whatever, our wand.
You know you're 100% right, and you're 100% right here specifically because all of the Rangers, their Zords are humanoid.
Mhm.
So you could have 5 robots walking around. It's not like, oh, the Tyrannosaurus and the saber-toothed tiger. Like, no, these are like you could, because all of them have humanoid forms
Yeah,
before they form into the Titan Megazord. All of them, which leads into our final topic here of the Zords. But you kind of open the door there. All 5 of them could be fighting, and you could have finally brought in Udana Zord there, or you could. Here's another funny thing with the Zords. The Red Ranger, like he gets like some glitter, and he combines with like a white horse. You see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Why isn't that Korag as the Red Wolf? Right? Wouldn't that make more sense? Because
It would have.
if Korag, I mean, I don't know, it does some weird stuff. Let's get into the Zords then. The Titan Megazord, the main Megazord of the show. What did you think of it? Good, bad? I loved it personally. I thought it was one of the coolest things. They could
Yeah,
all.
it's when I first saw it, you got the main 5 humanoid Zords, right? And then they turn into a big Megazord. I think I've seen this before somewhere, haven't we? The Shogun Megazord, isn't that what it was originally? You got the 5 main Zords that are humanoid type, and then you combine into a Megazord,
Yeah, but
not like human
kind
type.
of weird there because they're all kind of shaped the same. These are like all completely different shapes.
Oh
The
yeah,
Titan
yeah, yeah.
Megazord is awesome. It could turn into a dragon by itself and
Hmm.
have the Red Ranger on top of it.
Yeah.
It's even got like when it turns to a Megazord, if you notice, it's got sort of like a wizard's hat on
Hmm.
top, and he does a little.
No, I've never had any problems with any of the Zords in any of the Power Ranger shows. It's just
That Titan
you
Megazord.
know the Titan Megazord's fine. It's just
Yeah.
like I said, it's a Zord. I love mechs. It doesn't matter if it's Gundam, Voltron, Power Rangers. As long as it makes sense to me, it's a good Zord. And I haven't seen a Zord that doesn't make sense.
What did you think of my boy here, the Solar Streak Megazord?
Yeah, that needs help. I'm kidding.
You
I'm
didn't.
kidding.
A lot of people didn't like it because it's a train and like the
It
other
is a train, and again, here comes a
are all these
personal
big
thing about.
things. Yeah.
Here's a personal thing with me. I love trains, so of
Yeah.
course, I saw that. I thought it was awesome. Honestly. But
Mhm.
again, it's not the first time or not the last time we're going to see trains in Power Rangers either. So, but again, it wasn't there very long. Again, it was here and gone.
Yeah. Oh, well, before we keep going with the Zords, I didn't ask you. What did you think of the Sixth Ranger, which is technically Daggeron, or Udana. It depends how you're counting, because or Red Wolf technically could kind of be your sixth ranger, or there isn't a Red Ranger. What do you think of the sixth ranger as a topic? What do you think fits in there? Who's the sixth ranger here?
I think Donna. I'm gonna have to say Donna. She was the original Ranger Morphine. I think
Then she
there's
would be the Ranger One, right? Because she's the
yeah,
only one that lives from. Because Liam Bo is presumed dead. Caldor is presumed lost. Daggeron is presumed lost at the beginning of the show. The only one that has all five morphers that can morph, she would be Ranger 1, right?
right.
Technically, Red Ranger would be Ranger 2, Blue would be 3, if you're counting that way. So and she doesn't have a Zord specifically, which kind of, but she is called White Mystic Ranger. Here's where people get with the whole weird thing. Daggeron, what's his name in the show? The Gold Ranger. You know who I'm talking about?
I
The
know who you're
gold,
talking about. Yeah.
yeah. He does. He's not Solaris Knight.
So there you go.
Solaris Knight. It's not Solaris Knight Ranger. It's just Solaris Knight. He morphs with a weird morph, like a train card that he has to punch and then throw it away, and then the card jumps back at him.
Yeah.
He does a half a Yu-Gi-Oh thing there where he brings back the card.
Right.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it that way? Did you enjoy the whole Solaris Knight thing with him being a frog and whatever?
Again, I just no, not really.
Yeah.
Honestly, no, it wasn't really for me.
I thought it was cute. Like, it's very much a callback because, like, Madison kisses a frog and
Yeah,
turns into
the handsome prince.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know that was Doggy Kruger, right? That's the actor, John Toohey, I think his name. That was Doggy Kruger. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
there's another way you could have done a crossover right there. You have the actor. You could have done a voice of something. Because you already have Piggy, the actor of Piggy, you have the actor of Boom, and you have the actor of Doggy Kruger. You have three characters. You could have made a crossover there.
You could have, yeah. But no, of course they didn't.
You know, it would have been easy too. Like in canon or in timeline, you could have said that this was around the time where Doggy Kruger, he was like just traveling the earth by himself before he established SPD, or like right after his wife got kidnapped and whatever, or his wife got kidnapped, people got killed. You could have made the Doggy Kruger fit in there. And I like that name. A lot of people don't like, why is he called Doggy Kruger? Because he's a giant dog. What is he going to call? And Kruger sounds cool. Like, the only other Kruger I know is Freddy Krueger. Like, he's Doggy Kruger. And that's not even that's his title. I think his name is like Anubis Doggy Kruger, right? Because they call him, hey, look, it's Anubis. Emperor Grum. That was fun too. Grum and Doggy Kruger fighting. But getting back to these Megazords, of course, we don't want to like make a 6-hour podcast either.
Some people love that though. Some people do love that.
Yeah, but let's leave them wanting more. Let's get to the next Megazord, the Bright Star, the Phoenix Unizord, which is the white horse.
Oh, okay.
With the red glitter that turns into the Phoenix Megazord, the Phoenix Unizord. What you thought? Good, bad?
I don't.
It's a repaint of the black one.
Wasn't that the unicorn?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was interesting because they brought in another mystical thing. It's not a horse; it's a unicorn. So it falls right with it. It falls into the space of mystic force. Really, I think it's cool just to have a unicorn in the show in general. It's not the same. Oh, we got the black horse; it's evil. And we got a white horse. No, you got a unicorn and a black horse, and of course, a unicorn. If you know the myth behind a unicorn, if a unicorn loses this horn, it loses all the power. Yeah. So it's good. I liked it.
Yeah. I will when I saw the commercial for it, like the teaser. Oh no! Next time a Power Rangers, and then I saw the white horse. I figured, okay, that's Udana's Zord. It's not Udana's Zord.
No.
I think it's a horse that Daggeron used to like travel dimensions or something, and it got lost in time. That's kind of from what I
It's,
remember of the story, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can travel through different. Yeah.
Kind of like the Centaurus. I love that name too. Catastros,
Mm-hmm.
catastrophe. Get it?
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
It's called catastrophe, catastros, and then he's called Centaurus Wolf Megazord. Whoa,
Yeah.
that's good. Oh, what you thought of the Black Horse? You liked him, or
I think it came into the show too early, honestly.
yeah?
Yeah, I think they could have again. We can go on for that subject forever, but I think it just came in too fast. But
Yeah.
on that, it is what it is. Honestly, I think it's a good idea. You got the knight and the horse together.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I thought it was all right too. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like you're already showing the bad guy Zord, but it's used so much in the footage, you kind of have to. You know,
yeah.
kind of like the Red Ranger thing. Like you have so much of the footage, you have to start running through it. The final Zord of the show, the Manticore Megazord, the one that's like a phoenix and a white lion. The phoenix
Oh,
gets on his back and then he
yeah.
stands up. What you thought about that one?
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, it's kind of a cool design.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have the toy. I have the toy actually. The design is cool as a toy. It's badly made because like the lion is just like a brick, and the phoenix is just like a little backpack. It's
Oh, okay.
it's almost like Banjo Kazooie.
Oh, there's a name I
It's
haven't heard in a
like, oh
while.
man.
Wow.
Now we got the audience woke up because we said Banjo Kazooie. Whoa.
Right. We got a little rare going on here.
Yeah. Now the ratings are gonna. Yeah, that's gonna take over automotive talk. Banjo
Yeah.
Kazooie talk.
Yeah. Automotive talk. Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
I could go on that for a while, but
yeah, we were talking about that off the air earlier.
yeah.
Yep.
But to wrap up our overview of Mystic Force, the last thing, as far as like major things here, the power up, the Mystic Legends armor. What did you think of that?
Oh,
You know
it
what I'm
kind of
talking
became
about? The white chest, the white.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The white glove.
It's becoming it was becoming
The helmet.
common at
Yeah.
that point to have multiple power-ups for a ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean it happened in space even. It started way back in space
Mm-hmm.
where you got Andros as the Red Ranger, and then he had another power up, and then he had the Ultra power up. It
Yeah.
started becoming common in the Ranger abilities. And again, it's all about did you like the suit or not?
Oh, I
Did you like
loved it.
what you
I
could do with the powers? And
I love
I think the suit was awesome.
all five of them. I wish they would have given Udana a freaking a legend form or whatever, or Korak, bro. Especially Udana, because she's one of the Rangers. Like she
Yeah,
is actually called a Ranger by name, so it's weird that she didn't get the power. But yeah, I like how they accented the helmets too. Like, okay, this accent, this little piece. Oh no, now we make it jump out, and then all
yeah.
the Rangers' wings. Now they actually pop out the Taurus, now you actually get the horn. Like I like all that. The aesthetics are freaking.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Did you like the armor, the fire heart thing, where he's like the power up with like blue accents and like big dragon wings and all
You know,
that? It's like whatever. It was pretty busy.
it was pretty busy. It was.
Yeah. I thought it was okay, but as far as like a battleizer, like it didn't look like the same guy. Like it was
No.
way too radical of a like in boxing, like here's a heavyweight and then here's a lightweight or something. It looked like two completely different dudes. It didn't look like he was wearing armor. It looked just like a different dude. I like the Mystic Legends power because it just looks like a powered up version, like SPD or like swap mode is like the super
Yeah.
mode of that. Yeah, stuff like that. Buddy, I've had a rocking time. I wanted to do this Mystic Force for a couple of weeks now, and we finally got to do the Mystic Force episode. Yeah, well, any closing thoughts here, buddy? Because we're rounding into close to an hour and a half here.
Yeah, I got a closing thought. So if you guys haven't seen the show, go watch it. I think if you have an open mind, you'll enjoy the show. Just remember, just because it says Power Rangers doesn't mean you have to watch it as a Power Rangers show. Watch it as an open mind. If you love somebody that loves magic, loves somebody that loves seeing people morph into different abilities, you probably really enjoy this show. Just put away the name Power Rangers and just watch it as a magic show.
Yeah, uh, that's very good advice. Kind of gave closing thoughts for me. Like I said, I loved it because everybody had multiple forms. I thought it was an awesome show. I thought even doing this overview episode was awesome to do. And I really, bro, if I know things are still developing with Playmates to make figures or whatever, but if Playmates were to start doing a Mystic Force line, that'd be pretty awesome. Because there's a lot of characters you can make, a lot of toys, a lot of forms.
Oh yeah.
So, oh man, buddy, it's been an awesome show. Everyone, thank you for watching, staying tuned. We're gonna start doing more episodes as time permits, and we hope you enjoy the ride of 2025, our junior year.
Junior year, that's right.
Junior year. We'll catch you next time, everybody. Peace
Catch
out.
you next time. Peace.